folks, and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy. We are back today looking at the Halian Roost. We're probably going to be wrapping this up today. Not going to spend too much more time on it, but we might do just a little bit more flocking, and I think at that point we'll be done. Besides the variants that we'll do at a later point, but you can see a couple of the things that I did off the stream per my brother's recommendations. We did, and my friend Kev's, I should mention as well. We did some extra foliage down here and some stones and rocks and stuff like that. And in addition to that, we did, you can see animal tracks, and we figured they'd be like goats or sheep or something like that. And we have one poor sucker down here. We did a little bit more work on like, putting a little bit of like grass here and there and some trees and vines and stuff like that on some of the lower levels. We added a couple of tents. I don't remember if we had the totem yet. I think the totem is new. I wanted it to look like a winged totem. So we used various pieces of some of the stuff that we have from the jungle set. And I think this is the pirate set or the ship set. And then I think this piece here is, I think that's from the jungle set, I believe. Could be, maybe. I don't know for sure. Yeah, it has to be from the pirate set. There we go. So we did that, and then we used the wings elsewhere. And then we used a tree root pillar to kind of bring it all together and make it look like it came up out of the ground a little bit. The two tents, I wanted to talk about that real quick just because it is important to make sure that you're handling it the right way. The original design for the tent has the shadow, as you can see down here on the bottom right, if you've got it facing just down south. But if you have it curved up like this, you'll notice that the shadow, it follows, it doesn't care where the tent is, but you can see that the shadow is on the other side here, and that's, you just need to use the flip mechanic to make sure that that's done right. So just trying to, give little ideas here and there about those sort of things. We've got little pieces of, these grass tufts, and then we've got these bigger ones. So let's try and meet them halfway and maybe do like a 25 for a couple of spots over here. See if I can get that kind of on the layer down from here. Yep, that's good. Maybe another tuft as well. Let's do another couple smaller ones down here. Maybe one or two over here as well. Good to help with depth and stuff like that. So we can throw that there under the tree branch. Already got a couple over there, so I don't need to go too crazy. Do a couple more tufts over here, and it'll be nice to show that that's underneath the mist and stuff like that. Let me see, what do we got here? These little stone things. I think those are just pieces of the cliff itself that just kind of protrudes. Let's do some testing real quick. Yep, just a part of the cliff. Can't really do anything about it, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go nuts about it. I think that it's time to do the thing with the stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do actually now, we'll save it. While we're saving, we'll go to our sponsor. And now, a word from our sponsors. A prolific up-and-coming sci-fi storyteller, Andrew Charles mixes a creative blend into his universe of galaxy-trotting adventures, the Coalition series. Not afraid to tackle any elements of the story, whether they're big and bombastic or narrower and more intimate, Charles ensures that readers always have a pleasant ride to look forward to. The author just released the 5th book in their series, The Way to Bane, and it takes paths less traveled and puts his characters through an emotional and thrilling wringer. Charles is at his best when he is diving deep into the ethos of any member of his cast, whether they're the heroes of the story or the villains you love to hate. Everyone is written with purpose and feels rich and real. If that sounds like the kind of sci-fi journey you've been looking for, don't wait. Check out our promo for The Way to Bane, the 5th book in the Coalition series, on the Tellest website today. Alright, and now we are back with another map. So this is the next map in our coastal set. We usually don't go left to right first, we do like an up or down. But in this case we decided to go a little bit different, just because if we're heading down from here, you're not going to get a lot of space to work with. You're only going to get this little chunk over here, and it should be kind of shrinking down as you go. Now, it might be a situation where we could kind of have a ramp that goes up into this kind of like mountainous terrain, but that's not the way that I wanted to go quite yet. But let's first things first. We're going to put some sand down. We already have the stuff down there, but I figured instead of doing the stuff that we have over there on the left, what we'll do is grab that wet sand now and do some opacity shifts and stuff like that. So let's grab just a couple of chunks here and there. Okay, let's do one more pass. And then what we're going to need to do, I think after that, is put on some more of the original sand, because it'll give it that nice textured look. I believe over here, do I need to just do it one more time? Let's try and do it one more time, because I feel like we're getting a little bit of it. There we go. Just didn't take over enough, and we needed to have it do that. Do another couple on the edges over here. Look at that puddle. Okay, so that's supposed to kind of look like where the waves are crashing down on and everything like that. So we're going to kind of manipulate what we did here with the surf and continue it along to make it look like this beach stretches on for a little bit longer of a period of time. Let's see. I feel like that's facing the wrong way. Let's grab one of these guys instead. Random stamps, please. Oh, that's a good one after that. Gotta lose that big puddle up there. That's completely overwhelmed by this stuff. And you know what? We have that one right away. So let's do this one here. We'll lose that puddle too, I guess. We'll see a little bit of it. And then we can use this for the next one. If we go right some more. Alright, so then decent amount of little changes there. What we need to do is add some of that watery look. I don't think that we need to use this stuff. I don't think. Let's give it a try. Let's see what it looks like without it. I might need to do a second pass like I did with the sand, but I feel like it's looking pretty good. It definitely looks darker over there, but if we do another pass, it'll look nice. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Okay, that brings us over there. And I mean, it looks pretty good. I think 50 was probably the amount that I worked on with that one. Let's see. Does everything look okay, or does it look like it needs to be cleaned up a little bit? Let's dial this back. Maybe do like 25 to get the edges one more time. I think the pond is there, or the little puddle is there, so that's why we're seeing some of that. So pretty good to start. We know that we're going to need some of this stuff over there. So let's do something like that here and there. So I'm not using the line tool, you'll notice, and I'm doing that for the reason that I don't feel like the line tool blends too well with the old style, and since these are going to be side by side, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to do that in this case. Sometimes you can get away with it, like when we're doing like the jungle maps. It doesn't look totally out of place there, but in this case I wanted to make sure that we're doing things the right way. So let's see, is that the same style? It's the same style. So let's keep ourselves from doing that. Same style up there too. Okay, and we'll do the same thing that we just did over there as well. So I'll do something like this. And just one more little chunk over here too. That's a good start for now. 77 changes is a decent amount, so let's hit save. And while that's saving, I might as well ask you this. Do me a favor, and if you're watching this for the first time, give me a follow. I'd appreciate it. We're getting closer to 50. All right, let's see what we can do about driving some of the color away from this stuff, because we don't really need all that. So I think if we're using the gray ground on the foreground, does it go away? Oh wait, hold on. It would help if I was at full opacity to test this. So that's the foreground, and that's the background. So the background is up here. The foreground is the hidden spot. So we don't need to go too crazy there. We've got, let's check this out real quick. Do the foreground one more time. I think that blends in pretty well. So we're gonna try and leave some of the green so that it looks similar to over here, but we're not gonna go totally nuts about it. Oop. A couple of passes, it'll look nice. And what I'll kind of use as my guide is anytime you see like the brown splotches, we'll get rid of those, but we'll keep the green stuff. A little bit of the brown right so we'll get rid of those. A little bit right here. Don't want like the huge chunks of green to show through, so we're going to clean that up a little bit too. Anytime you see like the kind of like bushy grassness, we're going to get rid of that. We do want it to kind of look like moss and mildew and stuff like that. Green down there that we'll keep, but get rid of that brown splotch. A lot of it over here, so we want to try and cut back just a little bit. Okay, maybe just a little bit around here. And we look good. A little bit too much green still. Let's keep dialing it back a smidge. Over here you're seeing like some of the gray shine through. So I don't want to mistake gray for green or anything like that. And some of that is going to be disguised by the cracked ground composite as well, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But let's see. Some of that too, and let's see, does that look a little bit more? Yeah, I don't have to go too crazy, I don't think. We might change our mind a little bit later, but at least for now, we're looking in good shape. All right, we've got this stuff that we can throw in the background layer. Let's see. Looks pretty good. Now, this is not the cracked layer or anything, you'll notice. But it adds a little bit. Let's see, we want to make sure it doesn't look too different. Let's do, we're going to take that back and do maybe like a 35. Always. So right around there. And that way it darkens the edges, but not so much that it looks crazy. And we'll do some of that here. And some of it up here as well. And let's check that area out real quick. We're going to do, for the sake of adding a little bit more to the area, let's do the start of a whole nother level up here. We're not going to see a lot of it, but I do want it to kind of move down into the next area. And we'll just do that little chunk right there. Gives us enough to work with. So one more time, we're going to do 5 on the foreground so that we can get rid of some of this brown and green. Kind of go over everything real quick. Just imagine a little less vegetation the higher up you go. All right. That adds another layer to the height, so we've got that. Let's go back to the background, back to here, back to 35%. One more pass there. And now we got to go to our cracked ground. So this stuff ought to do the trick for us. 35 ought to do it. stuff. I know at some point I'm going to have to put something there because that overlap is not pretty. Let's work our way down into here as well. We'll make that area a little bit more rough. And we still got to do these cliffs up here. And over here as well. All right, 118 changes. Time to save. All right, let me ruminate for a second. Try and figure out what we would put over here. So we've already done the buried treasure. We've got the little, I think that's what that is here. What do we got hiding? Oh, that's just the light. That's the sparkle. Because the chest itself, that was like the glimmer on the chest. The chest itself is part of the bottom layer, so we're not going to be able to touch that. We've got the rum barrels, we've got the shipwreck, and we've got the cave. So we're not going to go too crazy about that. I've already done, and we're going to need flocking for sure. Let's do that next, I guess. Let's grab some of these rocks and put some stuff elsewhere on the map. And this is a good way to hide that little ugly overlap. Some stuff up here. There we go. And now it's time for the littler stones. Let's grab them too. Oh, did I hide those ones? I sure did. Do I not have any other stones to flock with? Evidently not. All right, so I'll grab them later. Let's see. Let's throw some seagulls around. They don't like it, but that's okay. You know what? Let's get one of these boulders first. Oh, you're way too big. I want seagulls, not albatross. Albitri? I don't know. Okay, a couple of these guys should be randomizing your angle. Okay, let's see. Let's go into our pirate menu. See if anything speaks to us. I already used the boots. A pirate compass might not be a bad idea. But I don't want it just hanging out for no reason. Let's see. Let's go to the ship and see if there's anything there that speaks to us a little bit more. That's a hammock. Oh, one more time, pirate. I want to see if there's a little boat that we can put on the shore. Gotta go slow and deliver it. Oh, I don't need it in pirate. I just need anything. So we've got this guy that we've used a lot. We don't need to use the eastern stuff. We don't need to use the jungle stuff. All right, we're going to be using the tried and true. And 25 is nice. Let's see. Figure that ship that we have there would be roughly 2 of these, maybe a little bit more. see if we can't put that like right there, and that'll be a nice explanation for why there's that little puddle there. Let's see, we've got this guy. Let's do a tiny smidge darker. And the ground behind it. Oh, did I do anything darker? I certainly didn't. Looks like it's kind of shifted into place there. So we've got that boat that came ashore. Let's see. Let's do our little next step, which is going to be making sure that we're keeping the overlap separated. Don't need ships anymore. I need this guy. And let's do a snap to grid, so that we're making sure that we got the right amount of stuff. What you doing there? Alright, that's good. Gives us a starting point to use. Alright, so that is where we overlap. So let's lock that down and remove the opacity somewhat, so we know as long as we don't go over that line, we don't have to worry about anything, because we don't have anything from that map that's really overlapping into here besides the cliffs, which we already had. So that's a good sign. So we can keep doing stuff over here, and then we've got obviously the whole rest of this map to play with. Let's go back into here. And let's go back to our pirate stuff one more time. Don't want to do anything with treasure. This might be a ruminate after the fact kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Because we are at 7:30, and that's usually around how long I give on these things. So let's wrap up the show. So, folks, on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest goodness out on the internet. Tellest.com, great place to start. But after that, you can go to our premium sites, which are patreon.com/Tellest, where you can find digital versions of our maps. We recently just started working on points of interest documents for all of our maps. So if you do look at these online, you get to see some of the stuff that we were kind of building towards with the points of interest, and it kind of helps game masters develop their story a little bit better. I do want to chalky me work. You can also go to tellest.etsy.com, which is where you can find all of our premium digital goods, including jumbo versions of our maps on like 20 by 40 neoprene mats. They're really nice. We also have our posters, bookmarks, and stickers, and you can get our art book, our tabletop game, just a lot of good stuff there. The other places that you can look are tiktok.com/@weirdwitchwands for Rihanna's magic wands that are one of a kind and handcrafted. And you can go to tiktok.com/@talesofTellest for our doggy content. They've been kind of quiet today, but briefly you might have heard a dinosaur bark while we were going to the sponsor. And the last two places that I'll bring your attention to are the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@worldoftellest. You can see our videos on there after Twitch takes the videos down after the 21-day period or 30-day period or whatever they are where they hang up. But if you want to chat with us and ask questions like Chalky Milk, then you can go to twitch.tv/thattellestguy and chat with us live. We're nearing that fabled 50 followers number, and I'm excited to see what we do once we get there and open up some other options with some of the cool things that we can do. But we will be back tomorrow with more of this map. We'll figure out what to do to really kind of snazz it up and make it pop. But until then, I hope you have a good one, and I miss you.